guys, welcome back to my channel. So a lot of my friends already asked me for this video, so here I am. I'm gonna share to you guys the resources I use to pass the Nclex RN. So I really started studying around last week of March, just because there was a lot of going on last year. So Regina, known as the founder of the Remar, launched a St. Patrick's sale last March 17th, I think. So her package for the virtual trainer, including the quick facts, is around $350 or $370, I forgot. So she had that flash sale, so it was only $200. The hers, the Kaplan, they were really expensive. So I said, okay, maybe this is a sign that I need to grab this opportunity because it's on flash sale. So $200 is not that bad, knowing that you get to use it for 90 days. At first, I was so eager, I was so inspired. I made a study calendar, which I really didn't follow because work is life here, that's for sure. So some of the weeks I work like 52 hours, so it's really hard for me to study. Plus, the transportation going to my workplace, which is in Center City, is like an hour and 15 minutes. So every day I waste like 3 hours of my time just to travel to my workplace. So last week of March, I realized that for that travel time to my workplace, I can do the klimek audios. It's so famous, but it's kind of like outdated. So I think it's 2010, 2011. But still, it is so good. You can find that on YouTube. It's 12 audios. So I said, I am traveling every day for 3 hours. Why not use this time to be productive? So every time I go to work, I listen to his audios. I canceled my Spotify premium. For 3 months, I've been doing that, guys. So every time I finish the 12 audios, I just repeat it. So I work 4 times a week to Center City, and I have a client near me. So 4 times a week, going there, going home, I just simply listen to the klimek audio. So imagine that. So it kind of like really stick to me. Everything on his audios, I kind of memorize it. So I guess that really built up my core knowledge. And then on my days off, I use the Nclex virtual trainer from Remar. It is somehow kind of more klimek, but it is updated. So you can see here procedures, the herbal medications, which klimek really didn't tackle that much. And it's not really thick. She just focused on the important stuff that's really tested on Nclex. So this is still a good foundation, guys. And you have a workbook, so you fill this out every time. There's like boxes, so it's kind of like interacting. I have the Nclex, the Saunders, the latest edition. I got this from Amazon for $60, but I didn't really use this, guys. Look how thick the Saunders is. So I don't know, just maybe because klimek said something bad about the Saunders, that's why I was just like, okay, I'll just focus to Remar and klimek audios, and then Uworld. So I purchased Uworld April of first week, and then that's where I test my knowledge. So I highly recommend you guys that if you use Uworld, you do 75 questions. It's totally fine if you can't finish it. It's just to know your percentage score, if you're like, if you can reach 60s or 50s or 40s. You can suspend it, you can end the test, and you can just like continue on a later time, but just use 75 items because, you know, Nclex minimum items is 75. So just so you can know where you're at. I finished it around June last week. I did my assessment. If you're following me on Instagram, then you probably know I just got a 59%, and Uworld said it's a high chances of passing. So I was shaking. I don't know if I'm ready or not. So I said, okay, I'll just take the exam while it's really fresh on me, because my Uworld, I already finished all the questions. And then I said, I don't know what to do anymore. And then 2 weeks before my exam, that's when I utilized the Remar quick facts, which is really like the best thing that I did, because it's like you're cramming into this, and this is just like 100 pages, but all the important stuff is here. So you can buy this quick facts, guys. If you don't want to like avail the virtual trainer, you can buy this quick facts for like $60 on the Remar website. I will put that link in the description box below if you're interested. This is very helpful for me, guys. So I suggest, if you already have your exam date, read this 3 to 2 weeks before your exam, and it will really help you a lot. And before we end the video, guys, I just want to share to you how I personally understand the computer adaptive test and how you can use it on your advantage. So in order to pass the Nclex RN, you just need to be on level 0 or 0. I will give a quick example, guys, so you can like understand it, especially to my friends that are still taking it. This is very important. I think this really helped me to pass the exam. So for example, this is the line, and this line is the 0. So in order to pass Nclex, you just need to be on this line on your 75th question or 145 question if you maximize it. But if the computer turns off in between, that I can't really control. This is just helpful if you stop at 75 or you stop at 145. Before anything else, I stop at 145. I have 36 questions, so like all that applies, and I have 3 drag and drop. I really memorize that because when they give me like the whiteboard, I was really doing this. Every time I get a SATA question, I do this just to like count, and I do the box thing just to like really count how many questions I got for the SATA, just for my reference. So yeah, so you start at question number 1. The first 3 questions are like your crucial start, but if your first question and you got it right, you advance to the positive 1, because it always starts with an average difficulty, so there are high chances that you'll probably get it right. And then on your second question, if you get your first question right, then you advance to positive 2. So you are now in a difficult question. So if ever you get that right, that's really good, guys. That is like, you know, that is your goal, to like hit the first 3 questions correct. So if you get that right, you move on to positive 3. And then you will know that you get each question right because the question becomes harder and you can really tell it. And then you get select all that apply question. And then if you get the select all that apply question right, it's another select all that apply questions. You kind of know where you're at, to be honest, but do not focus like on this. I'm just like showing you how I did mine, and that really helped me too, I think, to pass this exam. And let's say on the 5th question you got it wrong too, so you go back to positive 1, but you're still above 0, which is good. Your main goal is to just stay above 0, so that will give you a kind of good start if you get the first 3 questions right, or if you can get the first 5 questions right. That will really just put you above the level 0. So on your 70th question, if you're just like zigzagging the whole time, it is very important to like really get all 4 questions right in order for you to be on 0 or positive 1. So that's the goal. So on your 70th question, if you are -4, because I think if you're -5, for sure the computer will stop and you will fail. So if you're -4, if you get the 70th question right, you advance to the -3. If you get the 71st question right, you advance to -2. If you get the 72nd question right, you go to -1. And if you get, there's big possibility that it will be cycle that applies. Like, you know, it will really be difficult even though you're below 0. As long as you're in consecutive right answers, for sure guys, it will be a SATA. So let's say you get your 73rd question right, you advance to -1. And then your 74th question, you get a SATA and it's really hard. So you go back to -2. So on your 75th question, if you get that right, because probably after SATA it will be back into the medium average difficulty, so you go back to -1. So because you're on -1, maybe the computer will stop because you failed, or maybe when you were answering your 20th, 30th, 40th, 50th, 60th questions, you were just like on this pattern, so it will give you a chance to proceed. So for example, in question 139 you are -2, let's just say, or you're -3, let's just make it the worst. So question 140, you get it right, you advance to -2. Question 141, you get it right, you advance to -1. Question 142, you get it right, you advance to 0. And then that's, you know, that's what you need to pass. Chances are you'll get a static question because, you know, you got 3 consecutive items right. So you'll get it wrong on your question 143. So you move back to -1, and then that's danger zone because you're not on 0. So because you got it wrong, the questions will go back to the average difficulty. So if you get it right, your question 144, you get it right, you'll go back to 0. Question 145, you get it right, then you'll be in +1. And then you pass the exam. So that is just my understanding of the computer adaptive test. That's just me, guys. We all have different understanding on the exam, but I think that really helped me. And then that's my study material, so hopefully it can help you too. I will put the important links in the description box below for you to access it. So thank you so much guys for watching. I'll see you in my next video. See you out.